Hi, Wendy Rowley, with another series of the Heart Field series, where we get more information about the heart, its magical and magnificent connections to our divinity and in our energetic anatomy. Um, an interesting premise I was taught by a teacher about the heart is that our heart is our sacred space for our relationship to self and the creator. And it's such a different perspective on that we love everyone and we love everything. And it takes a real lot of dwelling and meditation for the understanding of that. And um, one of the thoughts that goes along with that is the idea that uh, through our energetic anatomy, working with aspects within that, you can actually clear energy out of the heart and the energy of people and things you love and plants. And that can be taken up and put in the sixth chakra, which is your certainty, and it's where you admire the qualities of people, and that actually belongs there energetically, and that, or it's just taken out and let go. And that's such an interesting thing in the energy work, that you can do within your spiritual anatomy, with your own creational ability and your intention. It's a little bit of a training, and I'm going to bring that work forward at the end of this year, but it's in a group way. But it's juicy, and it's actually my favorite part of energy healing. So in energy work, you may take something away, but this aspect is where you integrate your own force, your own life force, original essence, personal power, yourself, your being into the spirit body. And that just releases other energies and things once the healing is done, other people, events, feelings of yours or other people's energies. And it's a amazing experience because you really start to sense yourself. And as I have said in other videos, you don't actually sense your spiritual nature so much in the physical body, but you experience it in your auric field, where all your soul's records are, like the culmination of all of you and your experiences. And then there's something called the creative rings up in the top of the seventh chakra there, which is what you come into. You sort of come down from soul through higher self, and you hook into those creative rings. And and that has some of the aspects I'm talking about, with which can do some of this healing work. And so you sense those creative rings, and you sense your energy field. Or I've told groups and clients, you can actually, I say, well, you sense the space between, or you just sort of expand into space with that intention, and you can feel that original essence, your unique soul vibration in that way. And it's a very juicy experience for yourself. It's a great honoring of you as spirit to have that experience and that sensation. So the idea that our heart is really just for learning that self-love, all the complications of what does that mean, and our relationship to the creator, the creative source. And I was contemplating this morning aspects of forgiveness and judgment. And another wise person said to me once, which is a wonderful expression for judgment, is that it's you in competition with where you are now. That's exactly how it was said to me, because it is such a succinct and clear phrase. You in judgment of where you are now is competition. And so judgment is a form of competition when you think about it. And judgment just shuts energy down. It shuts down conversations. It shuts down the flow of energy between people. It shuts down the flow of energy between the situation and the problem you're trying to solve. So within that heart space, when you think of it in relation to yourself, are your own self judgments of self. I'm not good enough at this. I should have been farther along in my life at this point. I'm not at the right perfect weight, or for women, there's so much attachment to how you look and your clothes, and we live in this very materialistic, sort of corporate driven, gross domestic product, buy, but save, but buy, but save, but buy, and all these confusing pictures. And part of that journey of your own self-love is really finding out who you are and what works for you. So I have no idea what Aliania, who you're starting to get used to the idea of her. I allow my uh, guide on the other side of the veil, or exchange of information that we have. I do allow her to just come into the back of my throat and channel, because there's an energy and a resonance that comes in with her energy that's different, and she also has particular things that she's here with the larger collective as a group to work on, as far as bringing some healing forward through humanity. Um, Another interesting idea is that our soul is the true instrument of the creator, and we are the creator being of the soul. So it's that idea of surrendering and realizing, do I really create and have free will, or am I just an instrument for that coming through me? Heady thoughts today, but those couple of phrases I've said and those couple of ideas I've said are very interesting to explore, either in meditation, or if you do living meditation where you just stand by and observe and become present with things, or if you do a moving meditation like running or jogging or yoga, Tai Chi. There's many ways to get in that state. Driving, a lot can come in sometimes when you're driving because it's such a trance-like, although you need to be attentive, on highways can get a little trance-like. You just going along behind the cars, all in a line. So I'd say explore and contemplate those ideas and see how they work for you, what you come up with. I never mean to, as Eleni says, teach or preach, but I do like the sharing of the ideas, and other people's ideas have made me expand, and hopefully you'll have that in these series of Heartfield series of lectures also, or channelings, or whatever you want to call them. All right, I'm going to get out of the way and let's see what we got here. Oh, good day to you, dearest beings of light. I am Aliania of Cosmic Service, a Pleiadian mother of sound. This day in the heart field, we would like to talk about the fact that the heart field is an instrument of higher creation, that the heart field is connected to the creator's creational mechanism of the unfolding of reality through time, space, and dimension and atomic structure. Heady thought. So the heart space, as we were starting to explain, it has a sensing apparatus here we discussed. It goes in the back, goes up above the 12 discs of what people call the angel chakras, or the another level of sensing for the pineal creation, pineal communication center. But the heart field has its own sensing up above that. And then that goes up to the high seventh chakra, has actually a lot in there besides what people have normally explored. And this one's going to put a lot of that in the second book and that she's doing. And there's aspects up in there that relate to creating and sound and light and color. And that goes up to the outer torus, which we said we're going to start to speak about and bring forward more information about that, which then goes through the outer torus of your 26 wide energy field to the field. And the field is like the collective consciousness of all beings on the planet. I'm talking humans here because you're human. And the collective consciousness of an overlay of the creational paradigm of planetary creation. What does that mean? It means that out in the field, is the blueprints of creation, is the mock-up or blueprint or plan or vibrationary light. You don't even have words for this yet. You think of it, if you had light and sound and atomic structure and the blueprint for the unfolding of matter with the spiritual anatomy of humans, all in a bundle of energy that you don't have a name for yet. It's this other energy that has yet to be discovered. And it contains all of those things. And a large part of that in the field between all the humans and their little 26-foot wide bubbles, then forming bubbles of families and bigger bubbles of groups and bigger bubbles of tribes and nations and even bigger bubbles of nations and co-nations, which is going to happen over time. And there will be less and less individual groups through evolution. And that is all connected to a heart in the field. And that heart in the field is kind of like the engine of creation. Some people say, well, love is the fabric of creation and love is the underlying force. We say love is a glue that unsticks and sticks what comes through the heart, through the field, into the bubbles, into humans, and into creation. And in the time you're in now, that is going to get an upgrade with new information coming from the grids that will move even faster when you clear the grids, which is the project of this one, the groups I'm in, and many healers upon the earth at this time. So we just give you a very heady and big picture, but we want you to have an understanding, the beginning of this series of talking about the heart field, of the bigger paradigm, from you into groups, into the large group, and out into the field, and out to the heart engine of creation of the field, because we will build on this in our next 3 sections of this Heart Field series. Thank you for listening. You are dearly loved. Expect benevolence in all you do, and we bid you adieu. Thank you. All right, I'm going to close with that, and I'll see you on the next section. Bye-bye.